Rich Freedman, who have been in the legal profession for over 30 years and now want to share their experience and knowledge with you, the public. Hey, maybe they do know a little something. Join Alan and Rich by calling in at 888-565-1470 or watching them on elkinsandfreedman.com on Monday nights. And now, here's Alan Elkins and Rich Freedman.
Good evening, everybody. It's September 30th.
And what's the year?
And what's the year? 2013, I think.
Good.
I think.
So I'm Richard Freedman. We're here for another show tonight, and hopefully you'll start off with a good story.
You know, I thought this would be a slow news week, Rich, until I got here about 20 minutes ago. I did a search of some crazy sites.
Yep.
And with the help of our producer, I found some stories that you just won't believe.
Just getting help from the producer, that's a story into itself.
That is a story unto itself. Where to begin? Well, let's talk about the weekend. You do anything interesting over the weekend?
Let's see. I did my laundry.
Did your laundry? Yeah. Did you separate those whites from the colors?
Always.
All right. Do you really do your own laundry? Is that true?
Yeah, sometimes. It's something to do.
Really? I think I've done it once or twice.
It's not so bad.
Yeah, I guess it's not that difficult.
No,
but...
I mean, you just stick it in the machine, pour a little detergent in there, push
the
the button.
How much detergent? I think my wife uses the concentrate. Don't you just throw it in there, or do you really take the time to measure
I measure it. My wife puts in like 3 times the amount.
Well, of course, being the cheap guy you are, I'm sure you measure it to the millimeter.
Right,
you don't want it going over the
on
line.
the inside of the cup. They work great.
So that's good. So you do your laundry. I'm quite impressed.
Not a problem.
Listen, I didn't do too much either. You know, I ended up moving the kid in. He moved into a new apartment. I had to do that. Remember last week I got wood floors. I was sleeping in the living room for 5 nights.
Is that because of your wife or just on your own?
She threw me in the living room. No. Finally, I got to move the furniture back in the bedroom. So that's nice.
Now you're back to the normal routine.
Yeah, and other than, I didn't see any movies. You see any movies?
No, I was going to go see that movie Prisoners, but I didn't have a chance.
The truth is, I think Meatballs 2 was the number one movie, but a lot of the car racing movie with Ron Howard, that was kind of a bomb from what I understand. Yeah,
because got some decent reviews. Like it was going to be like the greatest movie of the year.
I know. And then I guess this week it's going to be the one with George Clooney floating in space Gravity.
It's supposed to be like a comparable to like that Tom Hanks movie when he was on the island.
Oh, is that right?
By himself. So now it's them floating in space. So instead of an island, they're in space.
Well, instead of a ball now, he has his co-star. What's his co-star? What's her name again?
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra Bullock. And I got to tell you, I saw her on one of the talk shows. She looked good. Yeah. I don't know how old Sandra Bullock is, but she's still looking good.
No, she does. She takes good care of herself.
So, Sandy, maybe we'll go see them. We'll think about it. Now, last night, I've said this for the last few weeks. Oh, my goodness, Breaking Bad. Finale, 5-year finale. They tied up all the loose ends. I liked it. I listened today on my Sirius Radio, a little bit of Entertainment Weekly, see what some of these critics thought. And some of them thought it was a little too neat. They tied everything up. But you know what? The big discussion was at least they tied up loose ends as opposed to The Sopranos. You're left in the dark or like Lost.
Yeah, Sopranos
you don't know what's going on.
Remember the last show of The Sopranos?
Yeah, I mean, I have nothing wrong with that, but myself, I prefer that we wrap things up. I like some finality. So
that's what people want. They want finality.
They do. Great ratings, by the way. 10.3 million viewers. Maybe an old story now, but I'm sure people were talking about it by the water coolers, including our friends in New York.
What, 10.3 million?
10.3 million. Well, that's great for
just
cable.
Just a little bit above our ratings.
Yeah, just a little bit.
We're at, I think, 0.3.
And if that guy in New York's still listening, feel free to call in, my friend, and I promise not to abuse you about those stinking Jets. For the second time, I didn't know the New York Jets have perfected the art of butt fumbling. Do you know that?
No.
Quarterback somehow, he ends up getting the ball behind his back. It rests on his butt. The other team picks it up, scores a touchdown. So I'm sorry about that. Now, the truth is, as a Dolphins fan, look, it's been I don't know how many years, more years than I can remember that we've stunk. We finally have a good team, but we're playing New Orleans tonight, and we'll see how we do.
So what time is that, 8 or 9 o'clock?
I think it's like 8:20, 8:40 kickoff. I honestly don't know that we'll get the win, but at least I think we'll be respectable. And then, just so quickly, sports news, the NBA, spring training. I guess it's spring training.
NBA?
Preseason training
it just
or whatever.
Like they just stopped playing the other day.
That's because they did. But the truth is, they began that. The Miami Heat, I know, open up their training camp in the Bahamas. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah, they say it's all work, no play, but I don't know about that. And hopefully our Project Beasley, who we drafted, I don't know, it seems like 5 years ago, hopefully he won't smoke the ganja. He'll actually, it's his downfall. Kid's got a lot of skills, but he's just basically a screw-up. So we'll see whether or not he can aid the team. All right, Richard, we have so many stories, I don't know where to begin.
Where should we begin, Al?
I'm going to throw you out a few of them. Okay. You want to hear about man's best friend, dog porn? Okay, that's one story. How about Chinese man who got a new nose? He grew a new nose. I tell you what, since I know let me go to my trusty iPad here.
Is that the mini iPad?
See what we'll pull up. No, this is the mini iPad.
All right.
I'll tell you what, the first story that came up is the North Carolina soldier and his wife arrested for dog porn. So listen to this.
I'm afraid to ask you what that is.
I don't know. Maybe he is her best friend. I don't know. Reuben Chance, James Fox, and his wife, Amber Nicole, both 23, were arrested Monday in North Carolina and charged with multiple counts of crimes against nature involving bestiality, disseminating obscene materials, and conspiracy. Amber was additionally charged with soliciting a crime against nature. Reuben's a soldier with the 82nd Airborne. This poor guy, when this came out, this guy, I don't know how he's going to live it down with the other guys. He can't take care of his wife. His dog has to do that. I mean, that's got to be
he had
brutal.
other things to do.
Says here, according to law enforcement authorities in the Cyber Crimes Unit, Cyber Crimes, says videos started appearing online showing sex acts with dogs. The couple allegedly made the videos at home and then shared them through a website. So police have now seized the devices, the computer hard drives, and they took the two dogs and 3 cats. Now, I'm sure there's a cat joke. I won't even go there. You know what, Richard? I won't even go there with the cheap.
Don't even go there. My question is, where do you get these stories from?
You don't think there's a cheap pussy joke there somewhere, Richard?
No.
No? All right, I'll stay away from it then.
Please. Save it for somebody else.
For the water cooler. It says they also took 2 dogs and 3 cats from their home and placed them with a local animal shelter. What did these poor animals do? What did they do? Anyway, that's story number 1. So
yes.
As fascinating as it is, onward to the next story. Let's see what the next story is, my friend. All right,
see if you can outdo the last story here.
I know it's going to be hard. All right. Now, I already talked about Breaking Bad finale. We don't need that story. Let's go back to another one. Well, how about I just go back to my book here? Okay, here we go. The next story. All right,
Make it a good one
having
now.
some technical difficulties here. All right,
put on your
Richard.
reading glasses.
I do. All right, here's the next article.
What's that?
All right, you ready for this?
I'm ready. Let me fasten my seatbelt. Go ahead.
Okay, fasten your seatbelt. All right, just waiting for my computer to... Here it is. Couple having sex on railroad tracks fail to notice an oncoming train. What, are you kidding me?
It happens, you know?
You can't hear an oncoming train? You're that involved? I'm usually watching TV. My wife's doing her nails. I mean, how could you not hear a train coming? It says a couple.
Maybe it was going very quietly down the tracks.
It must have. It says a couple who stopped to have relations on railroad tracks in an effort to spice up their sexual life were subsequently run over by a train.
Why don't they do it in a bowling alley?
Listen, those are friggin' idiots. I don't know what else to say. And here, it makes sense. You know where these lovebirds came from? The Ukrainian city of. This is a story of itself.
Funny. I was going to guess that.
Listen to this. And I should say, anybody out there that can guess this should call in now. They're from the city of Zaporizhia. Exactly. You ever been there before?
No, but that's exactly how you pronounce it.
Says the 41-year-old man and his 30-something girlfriend, good for you, sir, quote, failed to overcome their natural passion and wanted to experience an extreme sensation near the railroad tracks. Well, they did, Rich. Death. That's their extreme sensation. They got killed.
Holy cow.
While in the throes of passion, the couple failed to notice the locomotive barreling down on them. Ukraine's interior minister said the woman was killed instantly. Oh, my goodness, but the man survived. He did, however, lose both his legs and remains in the hospital.
He's still alive.
He's still alive. He lost both his legs, so Is there a joke there? There's got to be some kind of joke,
There's a joke there, but
good news is his penis is intact.
Let me just tell you this.
Yeah.
He lost both his legs, and he can't sue the railroad. You know why?
Why, Richard?
He doesn't have a leg to stand on.
You're correct there. An oldie but goodie. A local news
But
media.
I am oldie, so.
That's right. It says the man will likely be charged with a crime for violating the rules governing railroad usage. All right.
You don't think that him and his wife weren't following the rules? I mean, that actually is in the railroad uses. Don't use it for that.
That's just incredibly stupid. All right, now following up along that, now I got to give credit to our producer for this one. All right, come on here, story. Here's the subtitle.
What?
Freddie, you can get this one on the screen. Boobs and more boobs. 12 things I bet you didn't know about boobs.
All right.
But we're really sinking pretty low tonight, you know? If we have time, we'll get to a real story.
Yes, I hope so. Go ahead.
All right, let's see here. The world's biggest boob job. Can you guess the size, Richard? Just take a wild guess.
It wasn't one of our past guests, was it?
Not one of our guests. World's biggest boob job. You ready? Take a guess. Right. Oh, there it is. There's a lovely young lady with her flotation devices. Well, the answer, my friend, is...
Is that the winner?
38 KKK. Okay? It says in early 2009... And she's Miss Hershey of Brazil, was awarded the Guinness Book of Record for having the largest set of breasts. After 9 surgeries and more than a gallon of silicone, her breasts are size 38 KKK.
If she was on the Titanic, it never would have sank.
That's absolutely true. And you could have held on those flotation devices, and great-great-grandpa Freedman
could have survived.
Could have been there. All right, well, that's one thing. Now, here are other entertaining facts.
Yes.
I'm almost embarrassed to be reading these, Richard, but I'm going to force myself through it.
I'm sure.
The left breast is usually larger than the right.
Is that right?
Okay? And now here.
Why is that?
It's just nature. Here, no two breasts are exactly the same. It's usually the left that is bigger than the right. However, often the difference is so slight.
Maybe because most men are left-handed?
So wait a minute. So if you were a woman... And I was basically feeling you up, Richard, my right hand would be on your left breast. It's true. So most people are right-handed. We go right for the big one. I didn't think we could sink any lower than our past shows, but I think we managed to outdo ourselves. I think you've done a pretty
good job of getting there.
It says often, it's so slight nobody will ever notice. Frankly, guys are so horny, if they're touching a breast, they're just happy. They don't care. All right, now, next thing.
Yes, go ahead.
Breasts are the first thing men notice in a woman. Okay, you try not to do that, but I think I think that would be true. What do you think?
I think
you notice ever?
The face, I think.
You notice the wallet. Oh, the face?
The face. I think the face.
Yeah, I think so too, to be honest. I think the face has to be up there. But no, it says, no news here. Research conducted at Victoria University showed breasts are the first thing men look for.
You think there's a secret there?
Richard, that was good. And for a longer time than any other body part. Nothing to be ashamed of, since another study shows staring at women's breasts for just a minute a day can improve a man's health. And add 4 to 5 years to his life.
That's why you look so healthy, Alan.
I am. Look at the glow here. I'm going to go home and I'm going to stare at my wife's boobs for, a couple minutes. Now, here's the story. Now, this is kind of weird. It said men can lactate too. I don't even think I want to read that one,
skip
Richard.
that one.
Now here, England is the country with the biggest breasts in Europe. I wouldn't have guessed that.
I would not have guessed. Are you talking about like women that have their breasts enhanced by surgery?
No.
Or born that way?
It says a survey from the bra maker Triumph, I know they make motorcycles, found that British women have the biggest boobs in Europe. More than half the women in that country wear a size D. Now, you know what they lack...
They're not comparing it to the United States
No,
women, though.
what dawns on me, what they lack in teeth, they make up in boobs.
Right, they do have pretty bad teeth over there in England.
Yeah, but they got great boobs, Richard. It says Denmark was second and Holland was third. On the other hand, Italian women, never would have guessed this, have the smallest breasts, 68% size B.
Never would have guessed
You only hear it here on the Elkins Freedman Show.
We have an exclusive on that information.
And in case you're inclined to call in for any reason, we're at 888-565-1470. Moving right along, Richard. The average breast weighs a pound. I thought you'd like that. Breasts can get fat, I guess, as you get older. Breast augmentation may lead to suicide. We'll hop over that.
Suicide.
Breast implants can save you from death. Now, how did that happen? Big breast miraculously saved an Israeli woman for death at the hands of a Lebanese paramilitary organization.
Well, you don't hear about this on CNN.
You don't hear that. Well, I don't watch CNN anyway.
You don't even hear it on Fox.
All right. Well, maybe we didn't hear that. Okay, it says the incident occurred during a Hezbollah rocket attack. The victim got a boob job 2 years ago. During the war, she was wounded in the chest by shrapnel, but survived because of her implants. It's unbelievable. Implants saved this woman's life.
That probably should be like standard equipment.
It is.
You
That's
get
right.
a gun, a knife,
yeah,
a couple of hand grenades,
yeah,
and breast implants, and you're all set to go.
You're set to go. That's right. All right, let's see what else here. Breast implants are the #1 cosmetic surgery in the U.S.
Not the nose.
And wait a minute, we'll talk about nose. In China, you can major in bra studies. So there we go.
For no wonder there's so many graduates over there in China.
It's true. Listen, should we keep going or should we take a commercial? You having too much fun? You want to keep going
keep
right
going.
now?
I mean, I can't stop all this activity.
All right. The next article is probably my favorite article. Freddie, why don't we put this one on the screen? This is a man in China, and I want anybody.
Not the nose man.
The nose. You nose correctly, Richard. Now, anybody should be watching. You can watch us. We can watch us live on Facebook, or you can go to elkinsandfreedman.com. Watch a live broadcast. At least I hope it's on. And there he is. Anybody looking on the screen, you cannot make this up. This is an absolute true picture. Chinese man has a new nose grown on his forehead.
They couldn't have put it on his back or something?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just look at that, and it's quite a nice nose too.
I don't know. I don't think I would buy one, but
listen. It says a man from China's Fujian province has a new nose grown on his forehead following a traffic accident last year. They don't go into a lot of detail, but apparently this guy is growing the nose for his friend. It says the 22-year-old man suffered severe nasal trauma, and his subsequent treatment caused his nasal cartilage to corrode. Surgeons came up with the idea of growing a nose on his forehead, because apparently that skin is the most similar to your own nose skin. After 9 months of growth, surgeons say the nose is in good shape, and the transplant will be performed soon.
So then he's growing this nose for a friend.
He's growing his nose for a friend.
What a friend.
Listen, the question that I have, if you get a cold, do you blow that nose? Or is it just, it's on there? Does it function? Or it's just like the shape, I imagine?
I have no idea.
I mean, and then when it comes to picking, does the man sit there and pick two noses? These are the things that I'd like to know.
Freddie. Maybe he has an answer for you.
Freddie, anybody. Can you? Huh?
Does it itch?
Well, does it itch? I don't know. But, this leads me to another thing. Rich, would you mind growing an extra penis on your forehead for me? I'd like something about 8 to 9 inches. I'd like to see you go to the courthouse with a penis on your forehead.
It's sad. I bet most people wouldn't even notice.
I don't know if I can say this. The 4-letter word, sometimes I call you Dick Freedman.
Right.
Literally, you're Dick Freedman.
Oh, boy. I hope none of our clients are watching tonight.
Let's go to a commercial. I'm embarrassed that I'm laughing at my own jokes. We'll go to a commercial and we'll be back.
Which means...
Holy crap.
All right, we'll be right back.
No, we're already taking a break. We're already in the break.
We're in the break?
I think we're in the break.
I don't know. I still see myself.
All right.
No, we haven't gone to break yet.
We haven't gone to break. Well, I guess it's time to go to break. Well, I can scratch my nose.
Life is so overwhelming right now. The emotional and financial challenges are too much. More debt than you can possibly handle? Facing divorce or other family law problems? Injured and don't know where to turn? Where can I get solid, affordable legal guidance? At Elkins Freedman, an experienced lawyer will explain options and treat you with humanity. They help people throughout Central and South Florida solve these problems. This is a law firm you can trust, and they actually pick up the phone. They have a 30-year track record of positive results, and they make legal costs manageable for people from all walks of life. Make the call, 1-800-992-1277, or visit them on the web at elkinsandfreedman.com. When you visit, you might even meet Tiffany, the office mascot. Elkins Freedman, take the intimidation and worry out of getting the legal help you really need. Call today, 1-800-992-1277, and begin to make sense of your life.
I'm done laughing right now. I'll tell you what. I'll do a semi-serious article.
Oh, good.
Now, as a Florida Gator, I am a proud member of the Gator Nation. However, there was a Florida professor, and Freddie, we didn't even talk about it. Maybe you can find this. This weirdo professor, and let me see if I can mention his name. I should mention his name. This guy deserves to be embarrassed. His name is last name is Samuelson. Here's what it is: a University of Florida professor who was arrested for allegedly filming secret upskirt videos of his students. Okay. And the story is he had one of these little pen with the cameras.
Oh, this is at University of Florida.
Yeah, now, growing up, you dropped your pencil on the floor. Oh, let me bend down and let me see. Maybe I can look up the girl's skirt behind me. You ever do that? Or was
no, but
it just
obviously
me?
you did.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, so here it is. A University of Florida professor was arrested for allegedly filming secret upskirt videos of his students, and he claimed his defense. He was. Did somebody just make a noise, or was that you?
That was my squeaky chair.
It wasn't you farting?
No, squeaky chair.
All right. He says he was merely trying to prove. He was trying to prove they weren't wearing any underwear.
Prove that to who?
Yeah, I don't know.
This is a professor?
A professor.
And what subject does he teach?
His name's Don Samuelson, and he's in the College of Veterinary Medicine. This guy's probably looking at the dog porno, too. No, but says here.
Is that him right there? Look, that's
there
his picture.
He is. It says he was placed on administrative leave. Look at that picture. Does that look like somebody you could choose? It looks like somebody that would look up your skirt. Okay, he was placed on administrative leave earlier this month after a USB camera pen was found in his office, and it was tied to at least 4 incidents involving filming of female students' body parts through their clothes.
Let me ask him, he takes the pen and he drops it on the floor?
I don't know. Here, I'll keep reading. The 65-year-old creep shot sessions were discovered in late August after he reportedly attempted to stick his hidden pen between a female student's thighs. Now, wait a minute. Let's stop and think about that. You're a professor. You're in class. How does one do that? What kind of smooth approach can you have? Or you say, let me take this video pen and stick it between your legs. What am I taking? Is he taking a temperature? What possible reason could he have for that? Says here, hidden camera. All right, the student.
I'm speechless.
Now, this is what's amazing. It says the student recognized the pen's ulterior function and reported him to school officials. Let's stop and think about that. The student recognized the ulterior function. What other function? Say there was no ulterior function. What reason would a professor have to go to a female student and say, here's a genuine pen. Can I stick this between your thighs? I mean, it's stupid. This makes no sense. Says he was arrested and charged with multiple counts of video voyeurism. According to police, he confessed to filming the students, but claimed he was doing it to, quote, prove that the students weren't wearing undergarments. Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to prove by doing that.
I think BIC should file a lawsuit against the guy for destroying their image of what a pen is.
Yeah, I don't know. I know. Well, Richard, I have such a gross thought in my mind, and I can't even go there. Here, let me just do this for the video. All right. Anybody seeing that was gross, but the investigation is ongoing, but a spokesman said the university is likely to terminate his employment. You think?
I hope so.
I know.
What are they going to do? Give him a job at Penn State?
Richard, that was really funny. I like that. Penn State.
Stick around. I got more where that came from.
All right. Now, let's see what else we got here.
Yes.
This one my son had last week.
This last one, that was a semi-serious story?
That's a semi-serious story.
Where's the serious part of that?
This is probably the best university in the state of Florida. This is what we have. Professors sticking pens between students' thighs with cameras. What have we come to? Seriously. All right.
Yes.
Here's one, not a big deal, but apparently there are killer hornets that are loose in China. You know how many stories come from China?
I know.
It says nearly 600
Everything
people
comes from
stung.
China. How many?
600.
100 people stung.
Yeah, there are these killer hornets, or the largest breed of hornet, and apparently they've been stinging people to death left and right.
How big are the hornets?
So I don't know. I got a picture of one. It looks pretty big. You can see it.
Let me see.
It's not worth spending more than another minute on
Let me take
story.
a quick look.
There you go.
I hope
know.
that's enlarged.
Yeah, that's right. That's a hell of a hornet. All right, now this is an interesting story.
An interesting story. Finally,
it is, and there's no sex component, no death. But
you're still willing to talk about it.
I'm still willing to talk about it. And if our friends in New York are listening, this is from the New York Post.
Let me see. What is that?
And what I'm speaking of, there was a football player played for the Patriots, and his name's Brian Holloway. I think he actually lives in Florida now. Well, Mr. Holloway keeps a home up north, and I know that it's just outside of Massachusetts. So
just outside of Massachusetts?
Just outside of.
Isn't everything just outside of Massachusetts?
Just outside of Massachusetts. Anyway, the story is that when he was down in Florida with his family, this is his vacation home.
Right.
Somehow on Instagram and Twitter, pictures popped up that his son was watching and in his house. So what happened? Students up there broke through the windows,
right?
Had a gigantic party. This is out of one of these idiot movies that we see.
Like Animal House.
Yeah. So I read it. 6 teens and young adults were busted Thursday for breaking into the former NFL player's upstate home and throwing a massive bash that was broadcast on social media. And what makes this story really repulsive, and I'm glad he went ahead and pressed charges, and I really glad because the initial reports that came out, he called them out on his own media site, and some of the students' parents said, "Oh, you shouldn't have done that, Mr. Holloway. I don't think my son or daughter's name should have been exposed." Well, I say, screw you, you rotten parents of these equally rotten kids. And here's the worst part. He took one of these, probably the ringleader of them was a guy named Seth Hawk, whom Holiday had taken into his family several years ago. Guy didn't have a home, took him into his own home, let him live there.
And that's how he thanked him.
Through the party. It's a disgusting story. Trashed his home to about the tune of $20,000. So I'm glad these sons of guns were charged, and I got no tolerance. They face felony charges. They deserve everything they got.
Freddie's showing us a finger, which either means we got 1 minute left,
he is,
or he's showing us a sign of affection.
We're not going to get into. There's a new device out there to protect against rape, Freddie. We're not going to have time to get to that, but we did get to the perverted professor. We did get to. I want to talk about Amanda Knox. Some retrial going on. I want to talk about the Goodman trial. Dennis DeMartin, idiot juror, now facing contempt charges. We'll see what the outcome of that is. Again, let him do some time. The man's a moron, costs the taxpayers a ton of money. I think, are we out of time there? We're almost out of time.
Yeah.
Oh, Richard.
Well, where does the time go? I mean,
I don't know.
So fast. It's just having fun.
We did have fun tonight. Just when I think we got nothing to talk about, we got plenty to talk about.
That's why it's called the Know Nothing Show. We talk more about nothing than anybody else I know.
I agree with you, Richard. All right. I guess good night, everybody, and we'll see you next week.
Good night, everybody. We'll be back again next Monday, 6 o'clock right here, and who knows? We might talk about more of nothing. So, good night, everybody. See you then. Bye-bye.
You have been listening to the Elkins Freedman Know Nothing Show, where maybe you learned a little something today. To reach their offices, call 954-772-6014 or toll free 1-800-992-1277. Tune in again next time for more Elkins and Freedman.